Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. If you're new here, my name is Elena. I'm the homeschooling mama to 3 kiddos. Here on the channel, we talk about everything from homemaking to homeschooling, all the things in between. We're gonna get started and make a sourdough starter. I have made a starter a couple of times before, but when we moved and I wasn't able to take it with us, that's before I knew you could dehydrate them. And then another one, we just weren't using it, and so I had to let it go. But I think we're ready to get back and dive back into this. So I thought I'd come with you. I thought I'd invite you to come along with me as I make the sourdough starter. At first, I was gonna include this just in the fermenting and sprouting video. If you haven't caught that, I'll link that up here for you. But it turned into a longer project. It should last about 10 days. But as you'll see, things happened. Life got lifey. So come along with me and I'll show you how I got our sourdough starter going. This is by no means, I'm not a professional. This is just what I did. You can take it for entertainment value, or you can come alongside and see that it's not as fragile, I think, as sometimes we want to make it out to be. So let's get into it. Okay, it's getting louder and louder in the house, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and start the sourdough starter today, just because to start it doesn't take really that long. I'm gonna use this mason jar. You probably don't even need this large of a jar, but I'm gonna put it down on the scale, zero my scale out, and I am gonna probably just aim for like maybe 30 grams of, hey, almost about 30 grams of flour, and then 30 grams of water. So 30 grams was about a quarter cup. And I am just using, we have some wheat flour, and that's what I'm gonna start ours with. Give it a stir. Actually, just wanna make sure that I have all the flour mixed in. And then, because like I said, it is so cold in the kitchen, I just saw this helpful tip. I should have done it before, but let me get a clean knife. And I'm just gonna dab, this is raw honey. Like, oops, can you even see that? This tiniest bit of honey, and add that in there. Just for, I think she said, just do it for day 1 and 2. And then that should help it along because it's so cold in the kitchen. So we're gonna cover that and let it sit. Tomorrow, I'll do the same thing. Add a tiny drop of honey, or 30 grams of water, 30 grams of flour, stir, stir, stir. Okay, I just pulled it out. Today is Tuesday. I keep wanting to say Wednesday, but it's not Wednesday. Sunday, it didn't film, but I did the same thing I did on the first day, which was add 30 grams of flour and 30 grams of water and that tiny tip of the knife of honey. And then Monday, I just stirred it. I didn't add anything. And today when I pulled it out, I keep it in the cupboard because it's really cold in our kitchen. Look, there's already some good bubbles forming in here. So I'm super excited about that. So today, what we need to do is discard half of this and then add 30 and 30 again. So 30 grams of flour, 30 grams of water. You could start, the original recipe or directions I was following was 40 grams, but I went even smaller into 30. You could do 20. I imagine you could even do 10 if you wanted to. So I'm gonna I'm gonna eyeball half of this and put it in this jar. You can discard it. My son's pouring water. You can discard it and throw it away if you want, but I'm gonna try to, like, since I'm making a whole another sourdough starter, I'm gonna try and make like maybe some crackers out of the discard so that I don't feel like I'm wasting it. So like I said, I'm just gonna try to eyeball it. So I'm just gonna try to eyeball half. It is really sticky. That's probably a little more than half, but I think that'll be okay. And I'm gonna put that on my scale. Put in, 35. Okay, so today we're doing 35 grams.
I'm not sure if 5 grams would tip the balance.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I get that knife in there, I'm gonna spill all over. Good gravy. I'm all over the place. Okay, well, let's mix it and see what it looks like. I don't think honestly, I don't think it's gonna be too huge of a deal. If it is, we'll just start again. We'll make crackers out of this too, but honestly, I don't think it's gonna be that big a deal. Unless it would be too watery, unless it looks super watery, then yeah, you might wanna add a little bit more flour in there. But you wanna make sure flour's all mixed up. Yeah, and so the consistency of that is still kind of sticky, kind of like, almost like waffle batter, I would say. So I think we're good. This is gonna get lightly capped, go back into I have it, like I said, in my cupboard. During the day, I had it out a little bit, but like I said, it's super cold in the kitchen, so I'm gonna put it back in the cupboard. This I'm gonna cover and label it discard, and keep it in the fridge. And then when we discard a couple more days, I'm just gonna keep adding to this, and then we'll make some sourdough crackers from it. It's almost 8 o'clock in the evening. I almost forgot to take care of this today. There's some really good bubbles happening down here. I just opened this. We're cleaning up after dinner. So I'm gonna discard, again, I'm gonna discard half of this. I took the one that I had in the fridge out, and I'm gonna discard half into our discard jar because I don't wanna waste it, and then add roughly 30 grams of flour and 30 grams of water. I'm gonna get as close as I can to that. So I only have one hand today. My cameraman is out for the evening, so and I just want to hurry and get it done. So we're gonna do the same thing that we did yesterday. Here's what it's looking like after I took out half and put it in here. I was really messy with it. You can see the different color. This is the lighter color, is the one that the freshly discarded, and then the other one is the one that had sat in the fridge for about a day. So we're gonna turn this back on, measure out the best that I can, 30 grams. 32. So let's get some water in here. The water in the kettle wasn't hot. It was room temperature. It was clean water, so I went ahead and used that. And then we're just gonna stir and get all the flour mixed in. Okay, that's it all stirred up. I'm gonna put the lid loosely on it and put it back in the cupboard so it can stay warm. And then this discard is gonna just get covered and put in the fridge. Okay, just took it out of the cupboard. Today is day 6. Again, all day I kept telling myself I was gonna get this done and I didn't, so it is a little later at night, but that's okay. Here's what it's looking like. We're gonna discard half, add 30 grams of flour, 30 grams of water, and stir, stir, stir. Okay, this is gonna go in the cupboard. And then here's what our discard is looking like. It's getting fuller. We'll put that in there. I think today what I'm gonna do, I haven't been doing it, is put a rubber band around right here, and then that way I can show you tomorrow how much it's grown, if any. Okay, I think we're on day 7. What's it say on the calendar? I'll look. And this, when I opened it, this is how it looks. So there's some bubbles in there, which is good, but it didn't really grow much. So I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. Maybe that it's just not capturing enough yeast while it's in the cupboard. So tonight I'm going to put it in the cupboard because it is really cold at night. But in the morning, I'll take it out and just maybe wrap a towel around it to keep it warm and then leave it out on the counter. But let me discard half today, put it in our discard jar, and then add 30 grams of flour, 30 grams of water, stir, 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 same routine. Here's day 10. I went ahead and already did the discard, but it's not bubbling very much. In the last 2 days, I have had it out on the counter So I'm wondering if it's just too cold in the kitchen. I'm going to, it sounds a little crazy, but I'm gonna move this upstairs. I'm gonna add the 30 grams of water, 30 grams of flour, stir, stir, stir. And even though we're on day 10, I'm gonna move this starter upstairs and give it another day and see if it will bubble up a little bit more for me. Okay, so it's the next morning and there's a couple more bubbles in here. She's on my bookshelf. I brought it upstairs. So I think it was just cold, too cold in the kitchen for this to properly start getting fermented. Inside there doesn't look like there's a little bit of bubbles here. So I'm gonna do this another day up here, discard, add 30 grams of flour, 30 grams of water, and stir, and then see if I can get just a little bit more bubbles before I try to cook something with it or I try to put it in the fridge. So for now, I'm just gonna close it because I'm not gonna do it right this second, but I thought I'd show you. There's a little bit more bubbles and I think it was just a little too cold downstairs. It's a little after 2. When I ended up feeding my starter, I just fed it 15 grams. I can't remember if I told you or not, but I didn't even discard any last night. I just fed it 15 grams of wheat flour, which is what I've been feeding it, and 15 grams of water. And I stirred it, and it has grown a little, not this much. I just didn't move the rubber band up. I was too lazy to discard any of it because I'm not feeling well. And so that's why I just added it though. And then I put it back in here. That was last night. And look how many more bubbles are in there. It's a little after 2 right now. So it's been going for well over 12 hours and there's already so many more bubbles. So today I probably will just feed it like maybe 10 more grams of water and 10 grams of flour and then go ahead and put it in the fridge because I think it is bubbling and has some action going to it now, and I can safely put it in the fridge until I'm feeling better and ready to make our first loaf of sourdough bread. As you see, I didn't always get every day right on track, and I loosely put what I did down in the description box below, but I ended up getting sick. I think there were 2 out of those days that I absolutely just forgot to do anything with it. So at the very least, maybe you can see that it's not quite as fragile as maybe we want to think that it is, and it will still survive and thrive, and you can still get started with your sourdough starter. So I hope that this video was entertaining at the least for you, if not informative. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and getting this done. If you don't know, or you just need to be reminded, maybe the one to tell you you are deeply and truly loved and so, so appreciated. I really appreciate you coming alongside and hanging out with me here. Thanks for watching.